WPVI-TV Philadelphia, serving New Jersey and Delaware.
Action News, Delaware Valley's leading news program, with Gary Papa and Rob Jennings.
Saturday night, two big stories, top action news. 100,000 people spent all this day and much of the night packed into South Philadelphia's JFK Stadium. It was the U.S. half of the Live Aid concert to help feed famine-ravaged Africa. We'll have the full story and live reports from the stadium, plus Action News reporter Harry Martin at Wembley Stadium in London for that part of this international extravaganza. But first, President Reagan is recovering at Bethesda Naval Hospital tonight after a 3-hour operation to remove part of his large intestine. A team of Navy doctors led by Captain Dale Oler removed about 2 feet of intestine and the 2.5-inch polyp, which could have been cancerous. But doctors say the preliminary report on the possibility of cancer in the president is optimistic tonight.
All of the findings during the surgery were absolutely normal. The liver was normal. There were no lymph nodes that were enlarged. There was absolutely no evidence during the surgical procedure that Dr. Oler performed of any spread of the tumor.
Doctors won't know until Monday whether the growth is cancerous, though. White House spokesman Larry Speake says Mr. Reagan resumed the power of the presidency tonight after signing them over to Vice President George Bush before the surgery, marking the first time in history a president has invoked the 25th Amendment. Speake says the president is already on the road to recovery tonight.
He is conversant and oriented. His vital signs are good. He has no fever, that his lab values are normal.
Speake says Mr. Reagan told his aides he feels fit as a fiddle. Doctors say they expect full recovery in 6 to 8 weeks. Now, to our other big story. You've seen a lot of it already tonight here on Channel 6, the Live Aid concert for African famine relief. 100,000 people packed into the hot, humid JFK Stadium in South Philadelphia, while 80,000 jammed into England's Wembley Stadium, and 2 billion people watched it worldwide on television. In Philadelphia, it began this morning at 7 a.m. The gates were opening and thousands of fans rushed onto the field to get close to the stage. Security was tight as promised, with guards checking everything and a lot of bottles and cans wound up in the trash. At 9 this morning, folk singer Joan Baez of Woodstock fame got things started.
This is your Woodstock, and it's long overdue. And it's nice to know that the money out of your pocket.
From that point on, it was a steady 14-hour stream of the biggest names in pop music. Philadelphia's own Teddy Pendergrass sent an emotional charge through the crowd, making his first stage appearance today since a paralyzing car accident 3 years ago.
I am truly grateful to be here today. And I want you to know I feel your love. And I'm very glad to be sharing the stage with so much wonderful talent.
And there was much, much more. Singer Phil Collins went above and beyond the call of duty. He was on stage at JFK tonight after performing earlier today at the London half of Live Aid. He flew transatlantic on a Concorde supersonic jet to New York and then helicoptered to JFK.
Even shed the tears. You're the only one who really knew me at all. So take a look at me now. Well, it's just a
And all day and all night, one after another, a virtual who's who of rock and roll. Then, just a few minutes ago, the finale, the song heard round the world, We Are the World, with everybody on stage.
We are the children. We are the ones to make a brighter day. So let's start living. To make it. We're trying to save our lives. It's you to make a better day. It's you and me. You're down out and you see.
A phenomenal ending. And right now, the 100,000 or so rock fans are making their way out of JFK Stadium and onto the streets of South Philadelphia. Chopper 6 is high above it all, avoiding the traffic, and along for the ride tonight is Action News reporter Gary Majors. Gary?
Well, Rob, Live Aid 1985 has now ended, and the real challenge actually begins. That's as the 90,000 plus fans try to make their way out of JFK Stadium. And as it looks right now, the asphalt, the black asphalt that is now turning into a sea of headlights and taillights, but everything looks to be running smoothly at this hour as the stadium begins to empty. Apparently, Philadelphia police were well prepared for the exodus, as well as the people coming to the stadium, and it looks like they've got everything set up. Traffic is not crisscrossing in such a pattern where they're going to have massive traffic jams. It looks as though right now that traffic is moving smoothly along most of the major arteries leaving JFK Stadium tonight. But traffic is only part of the story. Now, as the masses leave the vet tonight, it gives them a chance to think about the past 17 hours and what they've experienced. I talked to a number about Live Aid 1985.
I think it was great that everybody got together like that, and the crowd stayed great for the whole time. Everybody was getting along with everyone. It was great.
Money has definitely gone to a worthy cause, first of all, and I'm glad I was here to help experience it, and I'm giving it all my moral support, and I'm just glad I'm here.
What kind of feeling will you be leaving here with?
It's great. Having a great time. It's unbelievable. The bands are great.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's all for a good cause, too.
I think it was great. I think a lot of money was raised for the cause, and I think everybody had a great time, all in all.
Including yourself, although you had to work?
Oh, yeah, sure. I could hear the music, and I enjoyed it.
I thought it was a great idea, and I think we should do it again another 10 years or so.
So, as we now look back down live on the crowds as they leave JFK Stadium, we'd like to think that maybe Regina is just wrong, that 10 years from now we won't need this kind of event to raise money for people who are starving around the world. But as it looks right now, traffic is moving smoothly, and everyone is leaving here without incident so far. I'm Gary Majors reporting live from Chopper 6 over JFK Stadium.
Thanks, Gary. Now, Action News reporter John Rollins is live now high atop JFK Stadium, where he's been perched throughout this all-star evening of music. John, what's the story from there?
Well, Rob, we were looking at the crowd tonight, and it was a never-say-die crowd. There had been predictions that people would come, listen to a few groups, and then maybe go home. But that didn't seem to be the case here. It seemed people came early, stayed late. In fact, they're not even out of here yet, as you can see. They stayed for the finale. It really pepped up as the sun went down tonight, and the stars came out. Such luminaries as Eric Clapton, Hall & Oates, David Ruffin, and Mick Jagger, and, of course, that giant finale, which you just saw. Of course, this is a huge crowd, somewhere in the neighborhood of 90, 100, 110,000. I certainly didn't count them, but they were, for the most part, well behaved. However, there were some problems. Let me tick off some of the statistics we have from the police here. There were apparently about 37 arrests made today for various charges of disorderly conduct, some drug usage, and intoxication. As far as medical situation, there were about 400 minor injuries, we were told, the most serious of which we believe was a broken leg. About 12 people were ejected from the stands here by security guards because of unbecoming behavior. But most of the people here, most of that 100,000 endured. And we asked them why and how. What's your secret of endurance? Why are you still going strong after all this time?
Because I love concerts and it's a beautiful time. Music. That's it.
The crowd of 100,000 plus endured a lot to listen to that music. July heat, high humidity, a 60-year-old stadium with its antique plumbing system that often could not keep up. But still they endured. Jo Starr, a real veteran, told us her secret for surviving the long hours.
How do I endure? Eat a lot of salt and drink a lot of orange juice.
A lot of orange juice. Another concert a long time ago. Which concert was that?
I was at the Woodstock concert, 1969.
And Paul Adler survived today because he came for one reason only.
Because I just witnessed Led Zeppelin for the first time in my life, live, and that's what kept me going. That's the only reason why I came, and now I'm going the same way I came, quietly but satisfied.
And then there was this 54-year-old lady who endured. What was her secret besides a sense of humor?
Stupidity. Plain stupidity. That's the only thing I can say.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. Anybody 15-year-old woman that's sitting here listening to these screaming heads has got to be, something the matter with her.
Well, if you're not even a rock fan, you got to know something pretty special happened here. It's kind of trite to say rock history happened, but you really have to think about the cause. And that, of course, was the problem with world hunger. One performer today said today was the day the world started to believe it could feed the world. It will be interesting to see if that endures. I'm John Rollins, live on the Action Cam at JFK Stadium.
Okay, John, and yet another live report. Channel 6's Elizabeth Starr has been backstage at Live 8 all day. Let's check in with her right now as things are wrapping up backstage. Liz?
At this point, fans are starting to filter through with their reactions to the show. Why don't you come on over?
How you doing?
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Edward Kaplan. How are you?
I'm fine. Now, what time did you get here today?
I got here actually about 9 o'clock this morning, but I had to go to a hotel last night.
You know, just so I could get here.
Yeah, I had to get here. It was great. It was fun to decide. I even got a T-shirt. Look at this.
I'm glad you bought the official T-shirt. Let me ask you very briefly, your favorite act today?
Well, actually, I thought it was the last episode when Jagger did it. He kicked back with Tina Turner, and I thought that was great.
Never say die.
Never say die.
Nice talking to you.
My pleasure.
You know, we were talking to the stars all evening, too. Got the chance to ask them about their reaction to today's event. And Kenny Loggins, of course, put it all into perspective by talking about what the real meaning of tonight's event was.
Sorry, Mom.
I really feel that it's the day of change. The world has finally accepted the responsibility of feeding itself as a matter of course. Take it out of the hands of government and put it in the hands of the people, and it gets done.
This is a real feat, and everyone is, a lot of people don't know what they're doing, but they're acting like they do, and it's working, and it's fantastic.
I think this could be done 3 or 4 times a year for many different things, not just famine, but researching the disease, all kinds of things, and I think it should happen again. I think it will happen again.
Well, if Chevy Chase gets his wish, perhaps Philadelphia has shown by its performance today that it should get its share of whatever follows up from this event. Reporting for Action News live backstage from JFK Stadium, I'm Elizabeth Starr.
Well said, and today's Live Aid concert did put Philadelphia in the spotlight of the world. In addition to the 100,000 or so fans at JFK, citizens of more than half the nations of the world watch parts of Live Aid on TV. And that fact certainly wasn't lost on Philadelphia Mayor Good as he spoke with Action News reporter Kathy Gandolfo at the concert just before it got underway this morning.
I think that it's $1 billion worth of publicity. 1.5 billion people around the world will hear the name Philadelphia repeated over and over again throughout the day, and that will do a lot in my view.
It makes you feel pretty proud.
It makes me feel proud. Let me feel good.
Kathy talked with dozens of other faces in the crowd at JFK, and she found out that for today at least, all roads led to Philadelphia.
They came from South Philadelphia, South Jersey, and Southern California, from near and far, just to be a part of music history.
We're from Toronto, and we busted down overnight last night. It was an enjoyable ride, as a matter of fact.
Just for the concert?
Just for the concert.
We're from Oxford, North Carolina.
Montreal. Oh, we drove here. We're from Indianapolis, Indiana. Yeah! Woo!
A sea of humanity engulfed JFK Stadium. The young and the old came to the concert. Some wore the most bizarre outfits they could put together, and others just dressed for the heat. T-shirts said to feed the world, and banners welcomed the world to Philadelphia. The event was to raise money for hungry people, but these people were rocking and rolling and leaving their own troubles behind.
I'm from Los Gatos, California, which is burning down when I left on Wednesday, and my house may not be there. I came for the concert. I figured the house is there or it isn't, but the concert's here, and so am I.
Most of the people in the stadium could barely even see the performers. They're so far away. But they can watch them on the large television screens, and they can hear them loud and clear. And I guess at an event like this, that's all that matters, because these people seem to be having the time of their lives. I'm Kathy Gandolfo, Channel 6 Action News at JFK Stadium.
Well, they also used those big screens at JFK to watch the Live Aid concert from London, the other half of today's twin bill. But Action News reporter Harry Martin was at Wembley Stadium in person and filed this report.
Rock and roll fans arrived early this morning at Wembley Stadium here in London. The crowd grew to 75,000 strong by the time Princess Charles and Princess Diana officially opened the London portion of the concert. The rock group Status Quo started the show with rockin' all over the world, and that's exactly what they did. The crowd at Wembley watched rock groups from other countries beamed into the stadium via satellite, including Moscow's top rock group, Autograph. The world broadcast, however, was not seen in the Soviet Union. Fans from the United States and the Delaware Valley watched the festivities here at Wembley, including Paul Bonney from Penn Valley.
It's great. It's probably better than JFK. The band's a great lineup. The crowd is great. It's a great day. I'm having a great time.
Bob Geldof, the man who organized this concert, knows full well that a lot of people enjoyed it. He also knows full well that millions of people are still starving in Ethiopia, and he says that his job will not be completed until all of them are fed. Harry Martin, Channel 6 Action News at Wembley Stadium in London.
Remember, the whole reason for the concept of Live Aid was to feed the starving people in Africa, and so far tonight, Live Aid has raised $40 million so far. The nationwide telephone hookup devised by AT&T is overloaded with phone calls from people making donations to the Live Aid Concert Fund for African Famine Relief tonight. And this center in Cherry Hill is one of 10 across the country where volunteers are answering 180,000 calls an hour. Operators here in Cherry Hill say their 110 lines are busy non-stop. Some people pledging as much as $2,000. Nationwide, the calls reached a peak of about 30,000 during one 5-minute period when the Beach Boys took to the stage at JFK. The toll-free number to make your pledge is 1-800-LIVE-AID, and those lines will be open until at least midnight tomorrow for those of you who have been unable to get through tonight. Still to come on Action News tonight, the Phillies get burned again in Atlanta. Scott Palmer has that story and the rest of the day in sports. And AccuWeather says tomorrow will be another hot one. The full story still ahead on Action News.
This weekend, I'm seeing Rhonda. I got the Camaro. I'm seeing the folks, so I got a Chevette. My sister's in town this weekend with their kids.
You need a big car.
For just the right car, ask National for their low weekend rates from $19.95 a day for an economy car to $32.95 for a luxury car.
For my class reunion, the Cadillac.
Weekends it pays to get national attention.
It's going on right now at your Lincoln Mercury dealers, the Disappearance Clearance Sell-a-thon. Hundreds of cars from Links to Lincoln. All priced to move fast. All kinds of colors and options. Save $1,122 when you buy a Marquis Brougham with an option package with features like air conditioning, AM/FM stereo, and more. Hurry into your Lincoln Mercury dealers Disappearance Clearance Sell-a-thon before they all disappear. See your Lincoln Mercury dealer today.
Running smooth and silent, Exxon, Exxon. Running strong and sure, Exxon, Exxon. Running smooth and easy, running with the tiger. Running smooth.
For our highest octane unleaded premium ever, try Exxon Extra. It quiets knocks and pings for smooth performance.
Running smooth and easy, with the tiger. Exxon.
Hey guys, I gotta get out of here or I'll miss my plane.
Hey, not so fast, Sergeant.
We're going to miss you.
Here, from us. I'm gonna miss you guys too.
Saying goodbye is never easy, but saying hello is. With AT&T, 10 minutes to West Germany can average just 79 cents a minute. Only AT&T keeps you this close anywhere in the world. AT&T International Long Distance Service.
A pilot from the Navy's famous Blue Angels flying team was killed during an air show in New York today. Thousands of horrified spectators watched as the two jets grazed each other, then plunged to the ground in flames. One pilot parachuted to safety. The other died in the crash. His name hasn't been released. The tragedy occurred just 15 minutes after the Blue Angels had started their show at the Niagara Falls Air Force Base. Thousands of weary firefighters are finally making headway against the raging wildfires in the west this weekend. Firefighters have contained all but a handful of the blazes that have blackened more than 1 million acres in just the past 2 weeks. Cooler weather and light rains helped douse dozens of fires this weekend, and authorities say the largest blaze in the Southern California town of Ojai should be under control by tomorrow. NASA engineers say they think they know why the space shuttle computers put the brakes on yesterday's liftoff. Technicians are blaming a faulty valve activator for the dramatic launch pad abort, which halted the mission just 3 seconds before takeoff. Technicians hope to retrieve the faulty part tomorrow and have the Challenger ready for blastoff again in about a week.